What designer
Pause.
brand?
Hold up.
Go ahead. All right, yeah, that is a pause.
Go ahead.
But what designer brand do you feel like is the most like respectful in your eyes?
Respectful?
It's not a wrong.
Let me say what's at the bottom. Versace.
For real?
Yes.
It got a little watered down.
Yes.
It's still legendary, but
Versace is at this point is so. And it sounds so lame for me to be saying all this because I don't even wear any of this shit, nor do I have any desire to buy it. I technically can't even afford to
I don't even think if I was rich I would wear that shit, but
I feel like that's what you say until you get that type of bread.
I would wear some Louis shit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Some of that Louis shit be going.
I agree.
on.
I think Louis is at the top.
That's my answer.
If I'm going between this is my three main brands I'm thinking off the top of my head. So correct me if I'm not. If you want to add some of this, I'm thinking Louis, Gucci, and Versace. Those are the three as far as within the black community. Those are the three main like luxury brands that people talk about. Of course, you can get into like other shit like
Dolce
YSL and Dolce and all that other shit. I'm just talking about like the real main ones. Even that.
YSL kind of
You know
cool.
what I'm saying? Yeah, shit like that. I feel like the
fire.
main ones that people usually talk about though is typically Gucci, Louis, and Versace. So if I'm going based off of those three, I'm gonna say the number one would be Louis, and then Gucci after that, and then I would say Versace.
I like Gucci because that Dapper Dan shit, bro. Dapper Dan be putting shit together.
His story is cool. Yeah, I fuck with him.
I
heard
actually
y'all
watched like a mini little documentary on Louis, and I was like, damn, I respect the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
All of his
it's
stories are crazy.
They started in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
And like they went through like the trial of like they basically like re-imaged the bagging like whole thing. Like
Yeah, they went through a whole process and shit. It was crazy. I think one of them brands, bro, I gotta look it up. At one point, they were selling like outfits to the Nazis, like when they were doing that shit. Like when you go like back in the 1800s and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was it was sketchy, but kind of interesting. I was
that
like,
Louis Vuitton shit got deep, bro.
Yeah,
like
I remember the story briefly. Like it was pretty interesting. Yeah,
That's actually pretty crazy when you think about like the history of brands and like how far.
Bro, they literally like survived wars and like the recession, the real recession, like back in the early 1900s type shit. Like,
and I think with
they
Louis,
passed through their families, generations, and still like climb through that shit. And I was like, bro, I fuck with these niggas.
I think like how it started with Louis, the dude was like just dirt poor, and he started working at a factory or some shit, and then he noticed how there was like a problem with like how the bags were like soldiers and shit, how the bag were stacked. And that's where he first made like the not like a leather one, but like a hard one where it's just like rectangular. He made that idea, and it was innovative at that time. And then from there, they were like, "Oh, we need like 1 million of these." And then like, he just
exactly.
Just, like,
and it's like at that time, it's like the bags weren't able to be stacked.
Right. Like when they're shipping
for airports and trains. Well, for trains back then. And it's like if your bag got wet, your shit was done.
Yeah.
So it's like he came with the leather, like the fine stitching and all this shit. Like you could stack your bags. It's like, bro, he came with like some innovative shit.
It's actually pretty crazy.
Like it's real interesting. I was like, man, I fuck with Louis.
Shit was crazy.
So that's my answer.
They show
I fuck with Nazis.
Louis. I would just think that's crazy how far it takes for a business to become what it is, and like how much rebranding has to be done in between that.
A lot of that, bro.
It did, like,
since the 1800s, bro.
Hundreds of rebranding.
Like 1880 type shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's been passed down to so many like other families and generations, and like it's actually crazy.
I feel like you gotta have to really do something like that for that long. You gotta have a real like passion or power behind it to really want to do.
No, it definitely was a passion for him.
Have you seen the Nike documentary? How they started?
No, I haven't.
Crazy. We don't go into it, but just
when was Nike founded?
It's like in like the 60s, I think. It was called Blue Ribbon Sports before.
Yes, I do remember that.
This dude was just like confused, like what do I do in my life? And
is
then
it a white guy that made it?
Yeah, he like flew to Japan, and then like he saw how their shoes was like going crazy over there in certain ways, and he like brought back ideas. Shit? Yeah, like running shoes. He brought that idea back to America. Everybody denied him. He started like making the shoes like over there. He like made it in America, then was selling it out of his trunk, and then just the word got out, and then it just like kind of blew up from there. There's way more to it, of course, though, but like it was just literally started out of his trunk selling fucking.
So Nike started as a shoe brand at first,
like mainly like track running. Like it's called Blue Ribbon Sports, and then from there,
I remember like hearing the Blue Ribbon Sports thing, but I never like knew if it was like supposed to be like some like athletic gear or was it like just like
shoes
shoe
first,
brand?
like track shoes. Just track shoes, and then it just it went from there. Shit crazy.
Interesting.